Thinking about moving to Arlington, Virginia? Whether it's for a dream job at Amazon HQ2 or one of the many tech and defense companies located here, a military transfer to the Pentagon, or to enjoy an easy commute into Washington, D.C., understanding Arlington's cost of living is essential before you make the move. This is the total amount of money required to cover your basic necessities. It includes housing, food, taxes, and other expenses like transportation, healthcare, childcare, utilities, and education. You may also want to look at the cost of discretionary expenses like clothing, recreation, entertainment, travel, and personal care, although those items may vary a great deal depending on your individual lifestyle. If you look at the Cost of Living Index published by the Council for Community and Economic Research, where a national average for cost of living would be 100, the cost of living in Arlington, Virginia is 135.1, meaning overall it's 35% more expensive to live in Arlington than the average nationwide. But every area is different. So if you're moving from New York City or San Francisco, you'll find the cost of living in Arlington significantly less than what you've been paying. If you're moving from Dallas, Texas or Memphis, Tennessee, you'll find the cost of living significantly more than what you're used to. And if you're moving from Seattle, Washington, you might find the overall cost of living just about the same. Let's dive in so you can make the smartest move for your future. First up, housing. It's the biggest chunk of most people's budgets, no matter where you are, and in Arlington, it's no different. Whether you decide to buy or rent, housing makes up the largest percentage of expense in almost any area, and Arlington is no exception. Housing costs here are running more than double the national average right now, at $206.8. As of 2025, the average rent in Arlington is about $2,402 a month for a one-bedroom apartment, which is 48% higher than the national average. If you need more space, a two-bedroom could go for $3,170 on average, and you could pay $4,116 or more for a three-bedroom rental. On the other end of the spectrum, a small studio would cost about $2,081 per month. Hoping to buy a home? The median home price is $740,000, which is significantly higher than the national average of around $357,000. But this is for all housing types, old and new. Arlington has a large number of condos and townhomes, which can be on the more affordable side. The median price for a condo in Arlington is $435,000. This ranges as low as $175,000 for a studio in South Arlington to a high of $2,995,000 for a 2,264 square foot luxury condo in Roslyn with a spectacular view. The median price would buy a two-bedroom condo in Fairlington or a one-bedroom in the Belvedere in Roslyn. The median price for a townhome is $758,000 and ranges from $340,000 for a two-level 800 square foot townhome condo in Arlington Village to $1,975,000 for a four-level, four-bedroom townhouse in Clarendon. The median price would buy a two-bedroom, 1,393 square foot townhome in Shirlington. The median price for a single-family home is $1,300,000. This ranges from this two-bedroom, 768 square foot single-family home built in 1955 in Knock Green Valley, sold for $575,000. This four-bedroom, 5.5 bath contemporary home built in 2016 with nearly 6,000 square feet on a half-acre lot on Chainbridge Road, considered DC's Gold Coast, for $9,200,000. The median price would buy a four-bedroom colonial built in 1949 in Country Club Manor or a four-bedroom Cape Cod built in 1940 in Ashton Heights. Why is Arlington housing so expensive? Arlington is in high demand, and with limited land, Arlington's growth is mainly from tearing down older homes to make room for new ones. Let's move on to other expenses. Basic utilities for a 915 square foot apartment will cost around $203 a month, about 6% lower than the national average. Groceries will run about 12.1% higher, and meals out at an inexpensive restaurant might cost around $20. Arlington has hundreds of restaurants to choose from, no matter what your budget, from casual eateries to fine dining establishments. As for transportation, a monthly Metro Pass will run you about $125. May vary a little depending on where you're commuting. Healthcare in Arlington is about 13.9% higher than the national average. For example, a typical doctor's visit might cost around $157. Healthcare options are plentiful in Arlington. The cost of education can vary significantly based on the type of institution, public versus private, preschool versus higher education. Because the public schools are excellent, you may not feel the need for private schools at the K-12 level. While specific average costs for all levels of education in Arlington are harder to pinpoint, it's generally understood that the cost of higher education in the region is above the national average. Childcare costs are also a significant expense for families. The Economic Policy Institute suggests that childcare will run about $2,393 per month for one child. Additional children will be more, but may not be as much per child. Goods and services for non-necessities are 7.7% higher. This covers everything from a night out on the town to travel to a haircut. Because these numbers are constantly changing, you may want to use a cost of living calculator like this one from bankrate.com, which is updated regularly and can be especially useful to compare the cost of living in Arlington to wherever you're coming from. That can also help you figure out what salary you'll need to be comfortable in Arlington. I'll put the link to it and several other resources in the description below. How does this all add up? Let's break down your budget. What's a good rule of thumb? Try the 50-30-20 rule and keep your essentials, housing, food, and utilities, to no more than 50% of your take-home pay, with 30% going to discretionary expenses and 20% to savings. This helps you balance necessities, fun, and savings. On average, a married couple with children under 6 can expect to spend $9,654 a month in Arlington. A married couple with children between 6 and 17 can expect to spend $11,300 a month. If you are a homeowner, the average would be $10,790 versus a renter where the average would be $6,547. Is it worth it? Even with the higher cost of living, Arlington consistently ranks as one of the best places to live in the U.S. Thanks to its excellent schools, strong job market, a wealth of parks and trails and recreational facilities, and great transportation, 11 metro stations and 2 airports nearby. It's easy to see why so many people choose Arlington for their home. And the median household income is currently a generous $142,036. This means Arlington income is much higher than the median income in the United States, with city household incomes in the 98th percentile. The unemployment rate is about 2.8%. So while Arlington may not be the cheapest place to live, if you're looking for a vibrant community close to Washington, D.C., it could be totally worth the cost. If you're serious about making Arlington your next home, don't just guess. Plan with confidence. I've helped countless people relocate smoothly, and I can help you too. Curious about what your monthly budget might look like here? Drop your questions below, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more info on living in Arlington. I'll also leave links in the description for a cost comparison calculator and current listings so you can start your home search.